What's up, everybody? My name is Enzo, and today I'll be showing you guys how to make a Futuristic Glo type beat for CHIEF KEEF. And these type of beats, the first thing you want to do is make chords. What you do for these chords is just make basic triads, and some common progressions for these type of beats are 1-7-6 and 1-6-7. The preset I used for my strings was Nexus 2. It's these ST70s vinyl strings 3, and you can use any instrument, but strings is just the most common for these beats. And here's how it sounds. Alright, the next thing you want to do is just layer these chords with an ARP and a pad. So the ARP I chose was from Nexus again, and it's this sparkling water. And the next one I added was a pad, and it's from Expand. It's this Heavenly Bell pad, and it just sounds really good on these type of beats. When you're done making the chords, the next thing you want to add are the leads and counter melodies. And for these melodies, you want it to be really happy because that's the whole vibe of these type of beats. And the first thing I added was this lead from Purity, which is Desolate Solo, and here's how it sounds. Alright, to make these type of happy leads, you want to spam these 3 notes, the 3, the 5, and the 7, because these notes always sound really good together and are most commonly used in these type of beats because they sound really happy. And it looks a little bit complicated, but I'm really just spamming these notes over and over again. Alright, the next thing I added was a steel drum, and I did the same thing with my other lead. My first lead is just spam the 7, the 3, and a 5, and added a couple in between notes here and there. But these 3 notes are like the foundation of Futuristic Glo. Like, that's how you make these type of beats, spamming those notes. Alright, the next lead I have is this guitar from Citrus. It's Electric 5, and here's how it sounds. Something I added for this melody was these grace notes and these stutters, and they just make your melody sound more complicated and complex without even actually making it that complex. My next lead is this Purity preset, tiny lead, and here's how it sounds. It looks and sounds a little bit complicated, but I'm really just spamming this same exact 1-bar pattern over and over again. And for my next lead, it's the best lead ever, PW for President in Purity, and here's how it sounds. And my final lead was this. It's a little bit simpler than the rest of my leads, and this is the preset. The last melody I have is these brass hits, which is literally just following the chord progression. So here's how it sounds. And that's it for the melody. Time to move on to the drums.
That's so nasty. Why would you fart?
So the first thing I added for the drums was this 808, again following the bass notes, and here's how it sounds. Then I added this crash. A clap. I added a roll over here to make it a little bit more interesting, and this extra clap here, instead of just having it as a basic clap pattern like this, because I always use that same exact pattern in all my beats. So I just switched it up a little bit. And for the hi-hats, this is where it gets a little bit complicated, but it's still pretty easy. All right, so what I do here is go into this magnet and choose 1/6 step. And for these beats, just add a bunch of rolls, bunch of triplets, like move down some notes and just add some more rolls. Yeah. It's pretty generic. And the final thing I added for my beat was this tom roll for the end of my verses and choruses and stuff.